Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel. I am warbossfitz, and today we are going back to Grimdark Future, but tiny. Yes, we're going to be doing 6mm epic scale Grimdark Future. Today we are going to be having the tiny DAO Union fight against the tiny Robot Legion. And because everything is so small, means that we are going to have a 5,000 point battle. Lists are going to be down in the description below, but here's a quick rundown of what we got. Starting with the Robot Legions, we got 2 squads of 10 warriors, 2 squads of 10 guardians joined by robot lords, giving them reanimation. 6 destroyer snakes with scout and rending in melee, another robot lord joined to a squad of annihilators who have the guns and they're going to be in ambush, along with another annihilator squad with guns in ambush, 2 death fortresses, and that crazy looking obelisk thing is going to be a spider walker. Now for the DAO Union, 2 squads of 10 security grunts, led by grunt leaders, giving them ranged slayer aura. Those are going to be inside of hover APCs. 2 5-man spotter squads, all of those are decked out with the spotting lasers. A battlesuit elite joined to a unit of battlesuits, all in ambush decked out with flamers. 2 squads of 10 gun drones with all the bells and whistles. 3 hover attack bikes decked out for anti-tank fighting, and 2 Tide Titans. We've already gone ahead and put everything on the board for deployment. This is what it is. We are fighting the short ways. Yes, this board is only 2 feet by 3 feet, so we are going to be using the half-range rules, meaning all measurements are going to be cut in half. 3 objectives down the middle. The ruins that we have on the board are going to be difficult and line of sight blocking, and if you move into it, they are going to be dangerous terrain. If you start in it, not so much. And then the wood lines, you can shoot through them, but they are going to be giving a cover save. Let's go ahead and see who gets to go first. DAO Union gets a 5, and the robots get a 5. Hey, it's a good start. DAO Union, 4. Robots, 1. DAO Union get to go first. First activation with the DAO Union, we have our spotting squad that's right behind that piece of terrain there is going to move out. Just enough to be able to poke its face out, and they are going to fire at what is the Spider Walker. They're going to use all of their spotting lasers, and they're also going to shoot if they are in range, which, half range, 9 inches, they are barely. Let's see what happens. Starting off with the spotting lasers on a 4-up. Ooh, they got 3 of those to hit. Now firing their pulse carbines, they are going to take 1 of those spotting lasers, use it on themselves, so they're going to be hitting on a 2. We got 2 misses. Spider Walker in the cover, he's going to get +1 to his save, so the AP is generally nothing. Saving on a 2. Ooh, Spider Walker is going to be taking 2. So our Spider Walker has 10 wounds left. I love how the dice are almost the same size as the models. First activation for the Robot Legion, we have the Death Fortress moving 3 inches, or it would be 6, and is going to fire over at that Tide Titan hanging out over there. Does he have cover? Nope, there will not be cover. So his guns are 30 and 24-inch range, or in this case 15 and 12. He did move forward over the line, and the other guy's on the line too, so yes, he's in range. Firing off first with the Destruction Pulse, 2 shots, AP3, deadly 6. 1 of those is going to hit. I forgot to mention that the Tide Titan has evasive, so it is at -1 to hit, so meaning he's going to be hitting on a 4. AP3 against defense 2, looking for a 5. As I missed the box. Ooh, it takes 6 wounds right there. Pow! And then it has 12 shots from his Gauss Arc Array, hitting on a 4, and it has destructive, so any 6s become AP4. So 3 at AP4, 3 at AP nothing. AP nothing's on a 2. Ooh, it takes 1 of those. And then AP4 is on a 6. Saves 1. So overall, it has taken 9 wounds. Starts off with 18, so it needs a morale test on a 4. It fails. It's going to be stunned. Mr. Tide Titan starting off already not so hot. Next activation, we're going to take our first hover transport. Bring it forward into those woods. Next activation, we're going to have the Spider Walker move forward out of those ruins, which are difficult. But it's got Strider, it don't care. And then it is going to fire also at that Tide Titan over there. Is the first kill of the game going to be a Titan? That'll definitely be an interesting thing. It has 2 shots, AP 4, Deadly 6, Quality 3, but again, it still has evasive, hitting on a 4. Ooh, whiff! Next will be the second hover transport. Put itself there. Second Death Fortress. Moving itself to there, and then it is going to fire at that hover transport, but it is going to have cover. 2 shots with a Destruction Pulse. 1 hit. This guy does not have evasive. Saving on a 6. Oh, it actually saved! That was going to be a kill shot. 12 shots on a 3. 6s are AP 4. We only got 1 6. Ooh. Oh, actually, sorry, looking back, he saved that on a 4. So, either way, it would have been good. So the 1 at AP 4 turns into a 3 because of the cover. There's 1 wound. And the rest on a 2. So it just takes 1. Those boys inside probably crapping their pants. We're going to move a unit of gun drones to behind that nice piece of cover. Over on this side, we're going to have a unit of warriors get out of the Death Fortress. Like that. And then they're going to try their luck with that Tide Titan. Nothing fancy. They all have destructive Gauss rifles. Normally they hit on a 4, but evasive is still up. So hitting on a 5 and 6s are AP 4. As I missed with one of them. There we go. 3 at AP nothing, 1 at AP 4. The AP nothings. Nope. And then AP 4 takes 1 more wound. Mr. Titan down to 8. We're going to move the second unit of gun drones. Moving out to, mingle. And then a unit of warriors getting out of the other Death Fortress. They're getting out there, and then they are going to fire into that APC in cover. 10 shots, hitting on a 4. 2 at AP 4, 4 at AP nothing. AP 4s. But, well, I mean, it would have been 3, but it saves. Good Lord. And the rest on a 2. Ooh, it takes 2 there. Bringing that APC down to 4. All right, they know what time it is. The unit of security grunts is going to get out and double tap shotguns through the trees. Not their preferred target because they have a ranged Slayer, but we'll see what they could do. They're going to go ahead and put the 1 targeting laser from the leader on there. It's going to miss, but that's fine. All these shots are going to hit on a 3. Ooh. 15 hits. And this is where warbossfitz remembers that robot repairs a thing. I guess the Spider Walker just forgot. All these, because of the cover in the way, they're going to be AP nothing. Saving on a 4. For 12 wounds that go through. Now we're going to do the robot save. On a 6. Not a single one. You don't need to roll morale when there's nobody left alive. But that wasn't all the tricks up the Death Fortress's sleeve. Now we have a unit of Guardians with their shotgun equivalent popping out, and they're going to fire at those security grunts. So we got 20 shots hitting on a 3 for 11 hits. Now cover gets rid of the AP1, and the security grunts all have shielded, meaning that they're going to have a 3-up save. Losing 4 of them. And this is how we track that. Each one of these bases counts as 5 models, and then the leader, sometimes he gets his own base, sometimes he doesn't. We just add that on at the end. So we still got 2 bases. One of them is down to 1 wound. Mr. Tide Titan in the back. He wants to get up close and personal with his shorter ranged guns, moves forward to his full movement, so he can't shoot. Now, the DAO spotter squad that's still behind this piece of terrain here is going to move into the ruin, meaning it is going to take a dangerous terrain check. Putting itself there, they're going to fire their carbines at the snakes, and then their spotting lasers at the Death Fortress. So first, let's see who survives. Ooh, they're going to lose 1. 4 spotting lasers at the Death Fortress. It's going to get hit by 2 of them. And then 4 shots at the snakes. 2 hits. Snakes are going to be saving on a 5. Fail, fail. Robot save? No, no. With the aftermath of all that, spotters are down to 4. Snakes has 7 wounds left on that base where they started with 9 and 2 marks on the Death Fortress. Last activation on the board for the robots inside that Death Fortress. The unit of Guardians are going to hold, meaning that's going to be the last activation for them on turn number 1. Leaving us with this fun mess over here. First, the Tide Titan's going to recover. We're going to move out the first hover attack bike, putting itself there, and then it's going to fire at the Spider Walker. So this thing has a gaggle of guns. Let's start off with the twin heavy pulse gun. It is going to take one of those markers to give itself +1 to hit, meaning it is going to be hitting on a 2. 3 hits there. AP1, saving on a 3. Ooh, there's 2. Robot save on a 6. No. 1 shot with its fusion carbine on a 3. That's a miss. And then it's going to fire its homing AT missile. Now this is indirect, so it is -1 to hit when you move. But that's okay. We're hitting on a 3. Oh, it's not okay. Putting Mr. Spider down to 8. Next AT bike to there. It is going to take the second and last marker, meaning that it is also hitting on a 2. Twin heavy pulse. 4 hits. Saving on a 3. Ooh, there's 2 more that go through. Robot repair. Yeah, there's 2 more. Fusion carbine, because it's 18-inch range. That's a hit. AP4 on a 6. Fail. Deadly 3, so 3 robot saves. So it saves 1. And then we have the homing AT missile again, hitting on a 3. It hits this time. AP2, saving on a 4. That's not a 4. Deadly 3. Robot saved none of those. For a total of 7. Mr. Spider Walker. Things aren't doing too hot. And we didn't bother to roll morale for him yet because we got another one coming in. So here we go again. 4 shots, AP1. 2 hits. It's got no more markers left. Saving on a 3. Ooh. Robot save. Nope. That does it. Mr. Spider Walker, it's been a pleasure. Last activation for the DAO Union. The squad of security grunts are there. They're going to hold as well. So at the end of turn number 1, it seems like the Robot Legion has been taking a bit of a beating, losing quite a few models compared to the DAO Union. We're going to have to see what happens as the battle lines draw closer. And now it's time for the fun ambush stuff. On to turn number 2. Ambush time. We had the unit of battle suits drop in back here behind this mess. Oh yeah, the snakes they held last turn because they didn't want to go charging a difficult terrain to dig out 4 dudes. And then we had the unit of annihilators with the robot lord here, and the unit of annihilators over there. So turn number 2, Robot Legion gets to go first. And what are they going to do? Well, they're going to charge in battle suits. Roar. How come every time I do battle suits, I always tell myself they don't need to drop that close in? But I'm a glutton for punishment. So what do we got? We got 6 destroyer snakes still there, 4 attacks apiece, AP1 with shred. Hitting on a 3. Not bad at all. And before you ask, yes, I realize I could have put the melee debuffer on them to make things charge from further away. I'm not a DAO player. I got myself my own gotcha. What do you want from me? Saving on a 4 with shred, which means I roll a 1 and counts as 2. So there's 8 fails, but those 2 there make it 10 fails. Meaning we're going to lose 3 suits. So the battle suit elite and the battle suits that are left, we end up with 10 attacks back, hitting on a 4. 5 hits, not too shabby. Saving on a 4. Ew. With robot self-repair. No, so they lose 4. Battle suits definitely lost combat, but they're going to pass. So this mess turns into this. That, because I had the battle suits mounted 2 to a base, we lost 3 suits, meaning that one of those bases goes from 6 wounds down to 2. Next to activate would be the little gun drones. Moving to there, they're going to fire at those annihilators. So the gun drones started at 5. They have good shot and a targeting visor, meaning you're going to hit on a 3, 2 shots apiece with rending. Ooh. Sometimes the dice just say, nah. Okay, no AP, saving on a 3. They saved them all. And then AP4 on a 6. Save 1. Then they have robot repair. None. Not quite enough to kill off a whole annihilator. Next activation for the robots. The Death Fortress moves forward, putting itself there, and it is going to dump everything it has into that hovercraft right there. Actually, let's split it up a bit. We're going to put the 2 destruction pulses into that hover bike, and then the one behind it, we're going to hit with the Gauss Arc Array. So 2 shots, the first one, hitting on a 3. 2 hits. AP3, saving on a 5. Oh, blessed be DAO hover bikes. It saves. Then 12 shots, the one behind it on a 3. 8 hits, 2 of those are going to be AP4. AP4s, fail. And the rest on a 2. So it takes 3, time for morale test, on a 4. It passes. Apparently the Death Fortress is not really as deathy as it says on the tin. Next, the Tide Titan is going to move forward. Close enough to claim the objective, and then it is going to hammer its burst carbine and its smart missiles into the Guardian squad. It's put itself into harm's way up so close its targeting visor is not going to work, so it's going to hit on a 4. 12 shots with the burst carbine. Ooh, that really would have mattered much. 3 whole hits. Wow. One of those is AP4 though. That's a fail. The other 2 at AP1. 1 fail. Then 6 shots with its smart missiles. These are indirect, so it's going to be hitting on a 5. Always one short. 1 hit on a 4. Passes. Robot save. They only take 1. A whole Tide Titan did 1 whole wound. Honestly, that's kind of insulting. Next, over on this flank, the unit of warriors is going to move forward to there, and then they're going to hammer that hover bike on the end right there. 10 shots on a 4. 6 hits, 3 of those are going to be AP4. Let's do the AP nothing, saving on a 2. Saves those. Then the AP4s. None of those. Time for morale test. It's going to fail. Yes. Yeah, that unit of warriors just did marginally better than the whole Death Fortress. That unit of annihilators back there, they're going to stand still. And they're going to fire into that hover APC right there. 6 of them in the squad, 24 shots, hitting on a 3 with destructive. That's much better. 2 misses, but only 2 are AP4. The 2 at AP4, that's 2. And the rest, saving on a 2. Boom, boom, boom. That'll do it. So now, dangerous terrain check for the guys that get exploded out of the tank. 13 wounds are in that tank. They're going to lose 3 of them. Kapow! They all pop out and they're stunned. Next, we're going to take the battle suits. Remember these guys back here? They're going to move over there, going to the other side of those woods, and then they are going to fire all their flamethrowers and stuff at that unit of Guardians. So we got 3 suits and the Battlesuit Elite left over. 2 of those suits have 2 flamers apiece. So let's start off with just the suit bursts. 1 from the regular suit on a 3. That's going to miss. 2 from the Battlesuit Elite on a 3. 1 hit. AP1 on a 4. Ooh, that's 1 fail. Oh, and I forgot, they have a targeting visor as well, or the targeting laser as well. Let's go ahead and put that on the Death Fortress. It fails. So we have 5 flamers out of those 3 suits, plus 2 from the Battlesuit Elite, hitting on a 2. That's all of them. 21 hits with flamethrowers, saving on a 3. Ooh, that was not very good. That's a lot. A lot. 14 go through. Robot saves. They saved 3. Meaning, with that one from before, yeah, that unit of Guardians is gone. Them suits just be burninating. Next, out of the other Death Fortress, it's time to get that squad of Guardians out. Putting themselves there, they are going to be in range to fire at the Tide Titan. 20 shots, hitting on a 3. For that many hits. Wait, I forgot. Evasive, hitting on a 4. Ooh. For that many hits. Saving on a 3. It takes 3. Time for another morale test. It's going to pass this one. Putting Mr. Tide Titan down to 5. Next to activate will be the unit of shotgun dudes, our security grunts. Putting themselves there, they're going to fire off into the Death Fortress. Let's see if we can put another marker on it. We do not, so we are going to take one of the markers that are already on there, meaning we're at a 2+ to hit. All right, we have a 1 miss. Ranged Slayer makes the shotgun's AP 3, so looking for a 5 to save. Ooh, made 3 saves. And then Robot Self-Repair. For none of them. 10 wounds, meaning it goes all the way under half, needing a morale test. Morale test on 3. It fails, but it is fearless. It's good. Putting that big chunk down to 8. Those Annihilators in the back, they don't have to move. They have the range. They're going to fire at the security grunts. Tons of shots going in, plus Relentless from the Robot Lord, hitting on a 3. 6 is turned into AP 4. That many hits, plus 6, 6, 6. 3 of these are at AP 4. There's 3. And then the rest, saving on a 3 because they are shielded. Man, what is going on with these dice? It's just all high or all crap. Yeah, plus the 3 they already failed. That's enough to wipe them. And skadoosh. The unit of spotters are going to fire their targeting lasers at the Guardians, and then they're going to fire their pulse carbines at the unit of warriors. So here's the targeting lasers. 1. 1 out of 5. Sometimes just the dice say no. 10 shots with the pulse carbines. They're close enough that their targeting visors, they're going to be hitting on a 4. So 6 hits. AP1, saving on a 5. They lose 5. Well, maybe. Robot save. Oh, never mind. They only lose 2. So nothing all too crazy. The Death Fortress is going to float forward, and then it is going to unload into the Tide Titan. Evasive still works, so it's hitting on a 4 with its Destruction Pulse. 1 hit. AP3, saving on a 5. Hey, it saves. 12 shots on a 4 with its Gauss Array. Ooh. 5 hits, not a single one of them is AP4. Saving on a 2. Oh, it takes 1. Mr. Titan's down to 17, and those little drones behind it, they don't need to move. They're going to fire into the Death Fortress. They are going to take the last token off of the Death Fortress to be hitting on a 2, but they have Rending and Shred. So 1 miss, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to be AP4. AP4 saving on a 6. Saves 2 of those, and the rest saving on a 2. And there's 2 1s with the shred that they have, meaning that's going to be 4 fails. Robot save. Saves 1 of those. It's down to 2 wounds, time for morale test. It fails, but it is fearless. It does not fail. Taking it down to that. Now, robots are done with their activations. See that APC back there? It decides it wants in on the action. It's going to fire at the Death Fortress. Over all of its guns, it's got 6 shots, AP1 with Rending. Hitting on a 4, it's too close to use its targeting visor. Oh, these dice! The spotter squad inside the building, they're going to turn and fire at those Annihilators that are over off in the corner. All right, let's dot them up. 1 goes through. They're going to go ahead and use that now to hit on a 2. Hey, everything hit. With AP1, saving on a 4. Okay, 4 wounds go through. Robot save. None of them. Meaning that base has 5 wounds left. Now this craziness over here, we're just going to go ahead and move everybody. Like that. The 2 hover APCs that weren't stunned, they're going to fire at the Death Fortress. And then the Tide Titan does not need to move. It's going to fire at that squad of Guardians. We're going to fire both the hover attack bikes together, starting off with their heavy pulse guns. Hitting on a 3. Ooh, they all hit. Saving on a 3. 4 wounds. They both fired their homing AT missiles, but they have their fusion carbines left. They both hit. Saving on a 6. Neither of those save. So that is 10 robot self-repairs. It's going to lose 8, down to 10. Now it's time for the Tide Titan. It is going to use the 1 marker that was on the Guardians, meaning it's going to be hitting on a 2. Indirect, it didn't move, so it does not get -1 to hit for that. Let's start off with its Smart Missile, 6 shots, AP1. 5 hits, saving on a 4. Failed 2. And then 12 shots hitting on a 2 AP1 with rending. They all hit. 4 of those are rending. AP4s, they make 1. The rest on a 4. They save 4, but lose 4. And then robot self-repair. They get 1 of those back, meaning they're going to drop 8. Morale test time. They're going to fail. And I checked, the Robot Lord is not fearless, so they're going to be stunned. So everything over here just went pew, 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 pew. And that's what we end up with. So at the end of turn number 2, there is heavy fighting over the 2 flank objectives. The one in the middle, no one seems to want to be willing to run into dangerous terrain quite yet to go grab that one. Turn number 3 is going to be a make or break turn for both teams. Robot Legions go first. On to turn 3. It seemed to work well enough last time. The squad of Danger Noodles charged into the battlesuits. So we got a total of 4 snakes left, hitting on a 3, AP1, rending, and shred. I forgot the rending last time. Oh, but I made up for it this time. 11 hits, with 6 of them are AP4. The 6 at AP4, ooh, they saved 3 of them. And then the rest on a 4. 2 more, meaning they lose 5. That's going to be 1 whole suit, and the one that was wounded gets taken out as well, meaning it's down to 1 suit and the Battlesuit Elite. Fighting back on a 4. 4 hits, saving on a 3. Ooh, failed 2. Robot repair. Nope. Battlesuits lost combat. Morale check on a 4. That is a fail. And the Battlesuit Squad, deciding their time is up. The Battlesuit Squad decides to get out of there, and the snakes turn towards objectives. Deciding to deal with the big problem over here first. That squad of drones all the way in the back, they're going to fire at the Death Fortress. 20 shots, hitting on a 3. All right, we got that many hits. 3 of them are rending. The 3 rending, ooh, it's going to fail all those. Plus, with shred, that counts as an extra. And then the rest on a 2. Saves the rest. Okay, it's got 4 robot repair rolls. Let's see if I can get 2 6s. No. So finally, after all that concentrated firepower, the big brick of evil is down. The unit of Annihilators in the back. They're going to move forward a bit and fire at the Tide Titan. We got tons of shots hitting on a 3 with destructive, meaning 6s are AP4. All right, all those hits, 3 of them are AP4. AP4s. Fails 2. The rest on a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Oh, that'll do it. Taking 6 wounds, the Tide Titan goes down. The unit of spotters are going to take off into the ruins in the middle. Putting themselves there, they're going to try to put the little red dots on the Guardians and then fire their pulse carbines into the Warriors. Let's see how many losses they take. They take 1. They're down to 4. Pulling out the red dots. 3 of them are going to hit the Guardians. And then pulse carbines into the Warriors. They're too close to have the targeting visors work, hitting on a 4. Ugh. 3 hits. Saving on a 5. Pass 1. Robot save. They only lose 1. Not too bad. Next, we activate the Guardians. They're going to recover, but we're going to see how many come back with reanimation. 8 dice. We get a model back on a 5-up. Just 1. Sometimes I swear, Tim, Othelios, you bought me rigged dice. Our squad of shotgun boys over there. They're going to move towards the objective, but then they're going to fire into these danger noodles down there. Let's try to use their 1 targeting laser. Hey, it works. So we're going to be hitting on a 2. Lots of shots hitting on a 2. Ooh, we got 5 misses out of all that. And because we are ranged Slayer, we're going to have AP 3 because these guys have a toughness value. Saving on a 6. Save 3 of them. Robot save. 1. For a total of 6 gone. Down to 4 wounds left in the squad, and I forgot to roll morale. Ha! Yeah, they're good. Running out of options, Mr. Death Fortress has decided he needs to take matters into his own hands and go for that objective. And he is going to fire at both of the wounded hover bikes. First thing he's got to do is take a dangerous terrain check. 18 dice. He takes 3 wounds. Now it's going to fire its destruction pulse at the far hover bike with the yellow dice on it, hitting on a 3. 1 hit, saving on a 5. No! Boom! And then it's Gosser Rays at the moment with the red dice on it, hitting on a 3. 8 hits, 3 of those are AP4. Let's go ahead and do the 3 AP4s. Saves a 1, and the rest on a 2. Ooh, it's down to 1 wound left. Morale test. It's going to pass. Bang. The unit of spotters in the building there, they're going to fire at these annihilators all the way in the back. Let's see how many laser pointers. 2. Now they're not going to use any of those for their own doing, so hitting on a 3, we got 4 hits. Saving on a 4. 2. Robot save. No. Pushing that base down to 3 wounds left. Unit of warriors, they're going to stage themselves there, and they're going to fire at the unhurt hover bike. Only 7 left in the squad. 5 hits, 2 of those are AP4. So 2 at AP4, 2 go through, and then the others, 1 more, meaning it's morale test time. On a 4. Fail. Leaving that one stunned. Mr. Tide Titan. He's going to hop into the building, needs to take a dangerous terrain check, and then he is going to unload on that unit of annihilators. 18 dangerous terrain checks. 1 more. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds, taking him down to 11. He's going to take both of those tokens off of the Annihilator squad, meaning everything, even his indirect stuff, is going to be hitting on a 2. Let's start with that. Hitting on a 2, AP1. 1 miss. Saving on a 4. 2. Then 12 shots, AP1 rending on a 2. We got 1 miss, and we got 2 rending. 2 rending. Failed both of those. Everybody else on a 4. Ooh. 6 fails there, for a total of 10 across the whole unit. Robot save. They've saved 1. Morale test on a 3. They pass. Leaving that whole Annihilator squad down to just 1 Annihilator. That's what those 3 wounds are. Leaving that squad of Annihilators to be the last activation for the Robot Legions this turn. So they're going to move. Moving themselves all the way up here. Went too fast to shoot. It's only 1 Annihilator. It's going to try to be a spoiler. The only thing the DAO have to answer over there is the APC. It's going to blast at them through the hedgerow. Too close to use its targeting visor, so hitting on a 4. 1 hit, saving on a 4. It saves. We got our unit of drones. They're going to move to there and blast some warriors. 20 shots, hitting on a 3. Yeah. Rending and shred. That many hits with 4 rending, so the 4 at AP4. Ooh, they're going to fail 3, but 2 of those are 1s, meaning that's going to be 5 total fails there. And the rest on a 4. That'll do it. That takes care of that problem. And then the last 2 activations are these 2 hover bikes. One is just going to recover, and the other one's going to fire into the Guardians. 4 shots, AP1. It's going to use one of the tokens to hit on a 2. So 1 miss. Saving on a 4. Fails 2. Then it still has its homing AT missile. Might as well use it now on a 2. Hits. Save it on a 5. Fail. And then its fusion carbine. That's a hit. Saving on a 6. That's a fail. So we do the deadly first. This one, that's a dead guy, 2 dead guys, and then 2 more. No. Morale test. No. All that's left to hold that objective is the Robot Lord, who is stunned. That brings us to the end of turn number 3. Moving on into turn number 4, the DAO Union definitely have the strength of numbers, but there might be a few shenanigans that the Robot Legion can pull off. First activation, turn number 4. The Death Fortress claims the objective and it's going to fire into the Tide Titan. 2 big shots hitting on a 4. 1 hit. Goes down to AP2 because it's inside cover, so saving on a 4. It saves. 12 shots with destructive on a 4. Okay, we got 3 rending in there, or 3 AP4s. 1 at saving on a 2. It's good. The rest turned down into AP3 because of cover on a 5. So it takes 2, taking it down to 9, which is just enough to force a morale test. It passes. Shotgunner is going to blast into the snakes. Lots of shots, hitting on a 3. That many hits. Turns them into AP3, saving on a 6. So we got 2 saves out of all that. Robot save. Not enough. Say goodnight to the bad guys. That squad of Annihilators in the back, they're not close enough to get on an objective, but maybe they can pull something off. They're going to go to there. The squad is going to fire into the drones, and then the Robot Lord is going to fire into that wounded hoverbike. Lord into the bike. 1 hit, saving on a 2. It's good. Squad into the drones on a 3. That many with 3 AP4s. AP4s, 2 fail. The rest on a 4. Ooh, quite a bit. Look at that big old patch right there. Sometimes I'm like, these dice are loaded. But sometimes stuff like that happens. Now they've got regeneration on a 5. So we got 3 more, so they lose 5. Morale test. They are going to fail. Meaning they are stunned and pretty much going to be out of the game. Our little drone buddies over here move to the edge of the woods, and they're going to fire into that one lone Annihilator. 20 shots. Too close to use their visor, so hitting on a 4. 1 rending hit and 5 regulars. 1 rending on a 6. That turns into 2 because they have shred. The rest on a 3. That'll do it. That Annihilator is out of there. Last activation's over here, or the last ones that really count. The heavily wounded hoverbike is going to fire at the Robot Lord. 4 shots on a 3. 3 hits, saving on a 4. Fails 1, and then it's going to fire its fusion gun, or fusion blaster. That's a hit. Saving on a 6. That's not a 6. So overall, 4 robot saves. That's not enough. So the Robot Lord will die, and then our other hoverbike will move in to take the objective, and then we got all this craziness in the middle. We're going to try to kill ourselves a Death Fortress. So overall, we got 8 marker lights. 5 of those are going to hit. Not using any of them, we also have 8 carbines from those 2 squads. Too close to hit on a 3, so hitting on a 4. That many hits. Saving on a 2. Ooh, there's 2 there. I'm going to do robot saves at the end. Then we got Mr. Tide Titan. He is going to use one of the markers. So we have our indirect shot. Still is going to hit on a 2. They all hit. Now the big guy is inside cover, so it becomes AP nothing. There's 2 more. Then his big gun. 3 misses. 3 misses and no rending. Look at that. Good lord. Saving on a 2. There's 2 more. And then we got our hover APC. Last thing that can shoot over there. 6 shots. Gonna use the last marker. Or one of the markers. There's more left. Hitting on a 2. 1 miss. Roll. Saving on a 2. There's 1 there. For a grand total of 7 that have gone through. Now let's do the robot saves. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to live with 2. It will live, at least for now. And that will be the end of turn number 4 with a final score of DAO Union 2, Robot Legion 1. Yeah, we'll give it to him. No one moved over there to take it. So if you liked what you saw, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Depending on how this video does, we'll see if we get some more tiny Grimdark future going. Remember to check out the sponsors of the channel, PrintedStarships.com and Corvus Terrain. We have discount codes down below in the description. If you want to get some info from behind the scenes, there is a Patreon, again, down in the description, along with a merch shop if you want to look like the coolest orc at your next one-page rules meetup. Get yourself a warbossfitz t-shirt or a hoodie. Well, t-shirt. It's going into summer now. I don't want you to suffer. And that'll do it for me out here in the garage tonight, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.